Quiet on set. Picture is up. All right, roll sound.
Rolling.
Roll cameras.
Cam's rolling.
And 3, 2.
Just say it.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Hank's Think Tank. Got Mark Hogan on my left.
Howdy, everybody.
Mark, how's it going, man?
Going wonderful.
Yeah, it's
How
the
are you
weekend.
doing?
It's the weekend.
It is the weekend, Saturday morning. Beautiful day. Enjoy it, because tomorrow it's going to rain like hell.
Not here. It's gonna rain a little bit, but after that, it's gonna be clear.
You
I
got it
got
all
stuff to
figured
do.
out, don't you?
Yeah. I'm gonna be out the outdoor kitchen doing some queuing tomorrow, so looking forward to that.
No rain allowed.
Great guest in today. Thank God it's a musician and not a politician. But we got Jesse Loving in today. And how's it
Hello,
going,
everyone.
man?
Hey,
doing
Jesse.
doing well. Thank you all for the invite.
Yeah, no problem. We love having guys in to come in and play good music and talk about music and how it all got started. And
Absolutely.
So,
I'll tell you, it's just a breath of fresh air for me,
oh,
because
me too. These are the shows I love. you
Yeah.
know. Whether it's Ryan Pennick, we need to have him back on.
oh yeah,
Peyton Riley, she's good all the time. She could come on every week. That Peyton Riley is something else.
She is. She's amazing young talent for sure.
Mhm.
yeah,
Little girls going places.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Jesse, where you from? Where'd you grow up?
So I'm originally from Tarkana Prairie. I was born in Cleveland, raised in Tarkana Prairie.
Wow. It's Liberty
Graduated-
County, Liberty
yeah,
County
Liberty
guy.
County, that's right.
That's awesome.
Graduated school there in '92, and went to work.
Just a youngster.
Fell in the music world and met my wife through music, and we got married in '96.
Kids?
Well, we lost a son, in '98 to a swimming accident, and 5 years later we had a little girl. And
Wow.
she's now 20 years old and got a little girl of her own.
Well, so your grandpa.
That's right.
How's that feel?
Oh, it's an amazing feeling. I never thought it would be, but it's changed my way
I'm
of
sure.
thinking.
Yeah, the cool part is you get to do everything you want and then give them back.
Fill them
Yeah.
full of sugar and send them home.
She's only 4 months old right now, so Sugar World hadn't touched her yet.
Right.
But,
Yeah,
I'm going to be a granddad in June.
oh, yeah,
First
congratulations.
time, yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, I'm unaffiliated. So. So Jesse, do you sing and play for a living? Is that the deal?
That's the vision. That's not
Okay.
the deal yet. I work
Okay.
oil field right now. I'm a project manager in an oil field service company,
Okay.
and I play shows anywhere from 2 to 4 nights a week.
Wow.
Past 3 years, 21, because I was always carrying a band name.
Mhm.
I've been in, had several different bands that I headed up, and 21, I just decided I'm tired of carrying a band name. Time to make my own brand and put my brand out there.
Here you go.
And it's been a blessing to do that.
Yeah.
I've 22. I had 144 shows on the books, and about 124, 125. My wife said, "You need to slow down."
Yeah, that's a lot of shows, man.
'Cause
That's
I was
bunch.
working a day job,
Yeah.
and
Right.
playing music anywhere from 2 to 5 nights a week.
Yeah, you're wearing yourself out.
And
Do you still do any shows with the full band anymore?
oh yeah, but they're selective, right?
Yeah.
So we do selective shows. There's one venue in Cleveland that's a bar that I consider playing, and that's the Wagon Wheel. That's currently going through a rehab and
Oh yeah, the bar
under-
rescue.
Bar
people.
Rescue. That's
yeah.
correct. They've been there all week, and
Wow.
I don't know if it's going to be rebranded, but it's a home venue for me. I get back to center there, and my boys get back to center there when we're together.
Maybe they'll call it the Jesse Wheel.
Yeah, right. I've heard something about the pouring place or something like
Really?
that, but I don't know
Okay.
the true facts to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do corporate shows, do a lot of corporate shows, and that's typically where I bring in the full band.
That's cool.
And I can afford that means with production. I can bring production in, run production through the show, and
Great. So are you booking your own gigs?
oh
or-
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff where he's doing a lot of shows up in Livingston.
Well.
And did I see one in Hockley? Or
Yeah,
Waller?
so 2920 Roadhouse out there. I've been blessed the past 3 years to share that stage with some amazing artists. Anywhere from Mo Bandy, Gene Watson, John Connolly, Neil McCoy.
Marty Haggard.
Marty Haggard was the last one
I
we did
saw
out
that
there.
one, yeah.
Yep, I did one with T. Graham Brown. But the one with Neil McCoy was probably the most special to me
Mm-hmm.
because we were there for Camp Hope and PTSD Foundation,
Okay.
and it was an amazing day. I guarantee there was over 1,000 people at that show, and it was just an absolute blessing to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bet.
To be able to bring awareness and raise money, and to have Neil McCoy make a video and say my name in the video was pretty cool.
That's cool.
I had a girlfriend years ago that was in love with Neil McCoy. So naturally, I hated him. Well,
Jealous bastard.
I finally snapped out of it, got rid of her, and Neil McCoy
Yeah,
he's all right.
He's all
now.
right now.
Yeah. So I got over that.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, the music journey's been an amazing ride. I don't regret any part of it through the 30 plus years that I've been involved in music.
So let's go back in your memory. How did it all start?
So,
First time playing in front of anybody, or playing with the band, or
how it all started was I have a buddy of mine that is my best friend.
Mhm.
He plays bass for Jesse Rupp Jr. So he and I, he's a couple years younger than me. I would go knock on his window at night, and he knew when I knocked on the window it meant get your guitar and come on out. We're going to go to the river, because I had carload of girls.
Yeah.
He'd play guitar and I would sing. And you know what the rest of the story was.
Oh yeah.
You know, so that's where it all started. But my musical influence of me growing up and understanding that I had a decent voice
Mm-hmm.
was my grandfather. My grandfather was an amazing singer, harmonica player, and it's on both sides of the family that the entertainment body was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My mom's side was all church singers, musicians, because my mom's side was all Pentecostal. So I was, my early years in life, I was raised in Pentecostal church.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So by, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, I was part of the choir in church, and then moved into high school, and I got into the choir in high school, or junior high,
Mm-hmm.
and became the lead on it without even realizing I was doing it. So I had the lead parts in the major choir productions, lead parts in the major choir productions at church,
Yeah.
and I didn't put a whole lot of salt to it, right? I knew that I had a decent voice, but I just thought I was part of the group.
I mean, you were loving it, though.
Right, because it just,
Yeah.
music was in my body. It was in my passion.
Right.
I think
you
a
know.
lot of musical expression is genetic. You see that a lot.
Oh yeah, I would think so.
So my,
And then he had a developmental childhood too.
Right,
right.
You know? So I mean that was good.
but
Yeah.
my dad was, God rest his soul, through the whole time was pretty much, because he was a disabled Vietnam vet,
Mm-hmm.
he was pretty much a raging alcoholic
Yeah.
and couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. So I didn't get the musical inspiration from him, right? But
Mhm.
I got the party atmosphere from him
Yeah.
and being able to talk to people, because he could talk to anybody
Yeah.
about anything, anywhere. So I don't know if I developed that gift of gab from him or if just years of practice.
It's important to have.
Absolutely.
You know, I've met a lot of people who can't, and
Oh,
it's tough to get past any
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
barriers.
we've had a
with
few
them,
on the
you know?
podcast like that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
give you yes or no answers.
Yeah.
Well, this is entertaining.
Yeah. It's like, hey man, you're on the show. Speak up a
Yeah.
bit.
So what I did develop from him was maturity at a young age,
Mhm.
right? So because he was disabled, there was things that he couldn't do
Yeah.
that I was forced to do because all my siblings were already grown and gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I was a sophomore in high school when we lived in a rundown place down in part of Targeted Prairie that people call the River Bottoms.
Yeah.
So for the whole duration, we always had free community water in there.
Mm-hmm.
They decided they're going to come in and put meters on all the properties and start charging you for water.
Yeah.
And this little rent house we were in, he's like, I'm not paying somebody water. There happened to be an old well out on the property. He's like, well, just get that well working. I said, okay, so we got to run electricity out there and put the tank and
Mm-hmm.
clean it out and all. He's like, oh, no. He said, we're going old school. And this is, oh, yeah. So
Okay.
the
Wow.
walk from the well to the house is probably 200 yards.
A bucket of water gets heavy in 200 yards.
And at the time, I was a small built guy.
Yeah.
I was about your size,
Yeah.
right? But probably a little shorter.
Yeah.
Scrawny little thing.
I was, right. So we got
Damn it.
well compared to where I'm
It's not
at.
sounding good
Compared to
to
where
me.
I'm at now, right? So I weighed about $180,
Okay.
and so we got the well working, and just like you said, the old water pitcher pump,
Wow.
and start off with a 5-gallon bucket because we had zero running water in the house.
Yeah.
I had to draw water for that, for bathing, for cooking, for the toilet.
I bet you were catching rain somewhere too, weren't you?
No, I wasn't that smart at the time. I was more arrogant and pissed off because I was having to do this right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Over spending $35 a month for some water.
Right.
So how was the water? Was it
That's
decent?
amazing.
Yeah, I
It
bet.
was like artesian,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That well had been there for 50 plus years, but
Yeah.
it hadn't been touched in probably 30 plus years. So everything we got it pumped out, clean. I got all the rust color
Yeah.
out of it, and then it just became a beautiful stream of water that would come out of there. I wore probably 9 pumps out on that thing in
Yeah.
a 2-year process from my sophomore year to my senior year. So I got started off with a bucket in each hand. I'd walk back to the house. And as the weeks went by, I'd grab another bucket. So I'd get to where I was 2 buckets in each hand. Make it all the way up to, so the end of the summer, I was carrying 4 buckets in each hand,
Wow.
making it all the way up to the house. Not spilling a drop. And by the end of summer, when it was time to go back to school, and had to go buy new clothes and all that, he gets up out of his slumber one day of being drunk and looks at me and is like, "Boy, are you doing steroids? You sure are putting on some size." I was like, "I'll tell you, I'll walk you out here and show you where the size came from,
Yeah,
old man."
Right.
You know, because he couldn't use his left arm.
Yeah.
The Agent Orange ate him up, so his left arm was completely dead.
Yeah.
So I can show you where all of this came from. But they used to call me Popeye because my forearms were like way
Mhm.
bigger than it should be, and that's from
Yeah.
pumping and carrying the water.
Right.
So that taught me a valuable lesson of I'm never going to have a point in my life where I can't afford to have running water in my house. You know,
Right.
and the simple things in life, those, you know, most of the houses we lived in were all around houses when I was a kid growing up. The only 2 houses I remember having air conditioner was one in 1983 when Hurricane Alicia was going on,
Mm-hmm.
and then my graduating year when we finally moved out of that house and moved to a different rent house that had running water, access to a lake to fish in, and air conditioning.
Hmm.
I thought we was in hog heaven compared to where I'd been.
Sure.
Right.
And that was only the last 3 months of my high school career. The day after high school, I moved out. I said, I've got to go figure this out on my own.
Yeah.
And went and stayed with my brother for a little bit. And went to work in chemical plants
Wow.
and started doing jam sessions or going with my buddy to do his jam sessions, just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would do rehearsals at their house on the weekends or during the week before the
Mhm.
shows. And I would just start singing a song with them. Lo and behold, the lead singer was leaving. So I went in for audition against 2 or 3 other singers, and we all sang the same song. And I won.
Opportunity knocks.
Cool.
So I took the role, and we started touring around Texas, and we were called the Texas Young Country back then. So we were bouncing all over Houston, Texas, Livingston, wherever we could get in the door at.
Sure.
3 of us were 18 or 19 and younger, and then we had 2 guys who were in their 30s.
Yeah.
So we
Having
were,
fun and making a little spending money.
yeah, because back then it was like $50 a man what we were making, right? So
Yeah.
we'd make our load of $50, and we would always end up at the truck stop in New Caney early in the
The
morning.
76?
Yep.
Yeah.
And eat a chicken fried steak
Oh,
before we
wow.
went home. Chicken fried steak and eggs, then we
Yeah.
go home.
Man, that's living.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's all we were doing then, and there was a old beer joint down on Ford Road called Shines,
Mm-hmm.
and on Thursday nights we'd go down there and shoot free pool because they
Yeah.
had free pool and gumbo or something like that to eat,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd go down there and shoot pool and hang out with the older folks, and they'd buy us beer and we'd drink beer with them
Wow.
and sing a song or 2 for them, and
Yeah.
then it just took off from there.
So who are your musical influences, like radio guys, when you were a kid?
Merle Haggard's one. Always.
I'm
been
still
a-
mad at him. Well,
Right.
we'll get into that
Right.
in a minute, but yeah.
I've always loved Merle Haggard. My dad was a George Jones fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
So it inspired me to follow George Jones too. But Keith Whitley was my all-time favorite,
Yeah.
right? Until he passed away.
Yeah.
Because I really think that if he had lived and continued his career, he would have been the king of country music.
Oh yeah.
I think George Strait would have been right behind him.
You're right.
Right.
But I think from a talent standpoint, Keith Whitley had it all.
Yeah.
He had the stage, he had the charisma, he had the artistry of writing songs, portraying his music, and you could feel his music in your body when he sang it because he sang it from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And give me chills talking about it. So I love George Strait.
Mm-hmm.
I love singing George Strait music. But if Keith was still alive, I think he would have been the man.
Yeah. Yeah. What did he die from? I don't remember.
Overdose. Alcohol.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I thought it was a heart attack, something like that. Yeah.
It might have been induced with cocaine and alcohol, but it was definitely, he was on a binge because
Sucks.
Lori was heading out to Alaska to go for a tour,
Mm-hmm.
and he begged her not to go. So the morning he died, he was completely hammered, and if you find his song "Tell Lori I Love Her,"
Mm-hmm.
he recorded that while he was sitting in the living room. You can hear it like on a cassette recorder.
Wow.
And it just gives you chills listening to it because
Wow.
that was the last thing it recorded before he died.
Yeah.
They found him that day. Passed
Wow.
away. And she had already took off on her tour and had to call her to come back.
I gotta
Yeah.
find that.
Yeah.
Well, you hear the scratchiness in it from the recording. Oh, it'll give you chills listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it will me because I was so in love with his style.
Yeah.
It just, and late '80s, that was my go-to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So where do you think you'll be in the next couple of years? I mean, you're still booking gigs all the time, and you've gotten really popular. So.
I wouldn't say really popular. But I'm getting there. I've with my, like I told you, I rebranded
Mm-hmm.
in 21, and we're working some different angles with the merch. So I have seen an uptick in the merch movement. I'm not going to say it's famous,
Yeah.
but from where it was to where it is now, it's blowing my mind.
It's good.
I'm going to be shipping to California. I already sent to Kansas. I'll
Mhm.
be shipping to Missouri. So the word's spreading. That's what I envision. I want to spread the base,
Sure.
get the foundation secure. That way, when I bring out new music and I put it out,
Mhm.
then hopefully it will grow legs and just keep moving around.
Right.
That's my vision
Cool.
from an independent artist
Yeah.
because I'm doing it 100% by myself.
Yeah.
I don't stockpile my merch. I
Yeah.
buy it as I need it. I'll stockpile 2 weeks worth of hats.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm doing made-to-order shirts. I have my merch lady in town in Porter.
Okay.
I'll take the orders from the shirts, put the order in on Monday. They're out on Friday. The people pay in advance, and if they're shipping out to those states, I already get advance on the shipping. That way, once it hits, I can hit UPS or the post office and get it out to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that online.
That's great.
Yeah, so
You're
we're-
coming out with a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
And then 3 or 4 days later, it goes, okay, this is what I got left.
Yeah.
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 So that's good.
Yeah, so from January to now, I'm right at 200 hats sold.
Great.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
pretty good for
Heck yeah.
somebody like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't sold any, so
So,
doing all right.
And she's in the process of making me a website so that
Okay.
everything can be linked to her shop as far as they place the order.
It's good.
She can make it and ship it out.
Yeah.
All I do is go settle it with her at the end of the month. I'll still have my merch for my shows that I can sell, at hand.
Mm-hmm.
But if anybody wants to place an order, say for shirts, different style hats, they can go right there and order it online.
Yeah, make it easy for everybody.
That's right.
Good
Okay.
deal.
And that'll take care of the shipping and all that jazz too. And
So band members, are they session guys? Is that what you're normally using, or?
these days, all my guys that I use and abuse,
Mm-hmm.
they're all session style musicians, right?
Okay.
So the one that I spoke about that I used to drag out of the house,
Yeah.
he's on the road a lot with Jesse Robb Jr.
Okay.
But I work my full band schedule around his shows with that. And because without him, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today.
Mm-hmm.
He's inspired me and made me grow in this business. And I try to do the same for him.
Yeah.
He is a very talented musician, great singer, my best friend. And it's just people like that. And there's a gentleman, lead guitar player here from Splendora, Texas,
Mhm.
Ron Felder, 6'8", Man's got hands like this. You shake his hands, your hand feels like that in his hand.
Yeah.
But he's a phenomenal guitar player. Great personality.
Well, he can reach everything.
Oh
can't
my God, yes.
Yeah.
But he is a wonderful human being.
Cool.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I do have to talk about God one time, if that's all right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So-
100%.
God is that's my total focus in life. I like to share my word about God for what He's done for me. Right? He's pulled me and my wife through the dark times with our child. He's given me the talent to do what I do today.
Mm-hmm.
Without Him, I wouldn't have anything. So I always try to talk about Him at any show I play, because without Him, we're nobody.
Right.
So, and the backbone of the family is my wife. You know,
Yeah.
for everything she's went through, losing our child, everything she's had to go through with me, having brain surgery.
What kind of brain surgery?
So it was called a Arnold's Chiari 1 malformation.
What?
Exactly.
Huh.
So
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So, you know, the backside of your skull shapes like this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a plate that separates your brain from the skull.
Okay.
That should shape like the rotation or the contour of your skull.
Right.
Mine squared off.
Okay.
So it squished the backside of my brain down.
Pressure. Yeah.
Down in the duodenum, which is the 2 nodules on the bottom of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
It had them protruding down where the spinal cord comes through the skull.
Okay.
And anytime in 2012, it got really bad. So we were doing like 200 shows, and I just at the point where I was having like massive headaches at work, playing
Mhm.
shows. I was touching everything in my hands and arms and legs. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I'd go to the emergency room every day after work. They drug me up, send me home.
So it's like motor skill issues, I guess?
Oh, it was a lot. yeah.
Okay.
So what the problem was, where the headaches were coming from, was that when it was like that, you know, because the bottom side of my brain was poking down through the base of my skull in that hole, about
Yeah.
that far down. So anytime I would cough, sneezed, put pressure back there, get stressed out, it would cut the spinal fluid flow off to the brain just for a split second. And that
Wow.
split second would be where that headache
That's
would come in.
enough, yeah.
It was enough to make the brain go dry for just a split second. And those massive migraines would set in.
Scary stuff.
Oh, yeah. So we couldn't figure out what was going on. So for 2 months straight, I went to the ER. And finally, one doctor was like, let's do a CAT scan and see if we can see something. He said, you've been in here every day for 2 months. I said, I'm willing to do anything, because all they would do would drug me up. The headache wouldn't go away. So my wife had to come pick me up, and somebody had to come pick my vehicle up and drive it home. So they did the CAT scan. They're like, there's something there, but we don't know what it is. So they referred me to a neurologist. He did 2 MRIs. He told me what it was. I said, what are the options? He said, pain management the rest of your life, or you're going to have brain surgery. I said, well, I don't do pain management because the drug thing is
Right.
in my family.
Yeah.
were
It'll just turn
addicted, right?
turn into something else.
So,
It's just hard on you anyway.
oh, yeah.
Pain pills are bad. Yeah.
So he referred me to a doctor over in the Woodlands. We went in. That was February 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife went and visited with that neurosurgeon. He discussed all the steps we was going to go on, and so we got it scheduled. My birthday was March the 7th. I went in for surgery March 11th in 2013. He told her it would be a 4-hour surgery, and it turned out to be a 6-hour surgery.
Yeah.
Because there was more going on than he thought. It was a lot bigger than he thought from the imaging. So he went in, took the plate out, lifted the brain back up, and this is I'm face down on a table,
Mm-hmm.
head down, face down. They had all these leads and stuff on my head, and had me that way for 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Got it all repaired. They put this thing in there called a Duraplasty that holds everything up.
Right.
Closed me back up, and you can see the scar here.
Yeah.
And so it was 6 days. I was in the ICU for 4 days. They thought I was strong enough to move to the regular floor. I spent maybe an hour on the regular floor.
Mm-hmm.
I got up to use the restroom. I don't really remember it, but I walked around. My wife said I walked around the bed with my drug stand.
Yeah.
Went to the restroom, come back out, and she looked at me and said, "Are you all right?" And she said I was white as a ghost. And she said I just flopped down on the bed. And as soon as I hit the bed, cardiologist and a nurse come running in the room because I guess the telemetry was going off.
Yeah.
So they had my blood pressure medicine wrong, and they had my heart rate down to 37.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So they immediately pushed me back in ICU, and I spent 2 more days in ICU. They got me stable and sent me home.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a ride,
Rough. Yeah.
but
All good now?
all good now. My wife said they aired me back up really well, so
Yeah.
filled my air tank back up, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty good now. But
Wow.
yeah, that's been 11 years now, so
Yeah.
I can take an Advil now or something like that and make the headaches go away.
Yeah.
Whereas before, the strongest stuff out there wouldn't make it go away.
Thank God.
Wow.
So it shut me down from playing I stopped playing in January of 2013 because I just couldn't deal with it. And then by, I don't know, after I got recovery done, I guess September 2013, I did a couple shows. I did a New Year's Eve show, and I could tell it was wearing on me, so I just finished it up, rehabbed some more, got myself conditioned with it again, and in 2014 started back. I initially thought about retiring. I put it out that I was going to retire because I'd already been playing 20 years or whatever it was, but the itch would never go away.
Yep. Never does.
So I finally was like, you know what, let's just reband. The other guys had already moved on, so I grabbed some new guys. We pulled it together and started putting on shows and running with my old Easy Loving band name for up until 21, from 14 to 21. And that's when I made the decision that I'm rebranding all of it. It's my name only. And my guys all fell in line with it like perfect. We love the new brand and love the idea.
Cool.
Now I'm still 99% cover band because I'm trying to build that base up, but I've got stuff I want to bring into the studio. I've got a tune that I was shown last weekend that I think is going to sound like a great 90s style country music song.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting on those 2 writers to confirm that they're going to let me cut it, and then we'll start working on it and go from there. But it's got a really good vibe to it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to book a gig, how would I get in touch with Jesse
So
Loving?
you would reach out to me on my phone number. I'll say it on
Yep,
here.
absolutely.
My phone number is 281-577-7264.
Okay.
Or you can hit me on any social, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I have Snapchat, but I never look at it. So
Yeah.
you can just search my name, Jesse Loving, or you can search Jesse Loving Band, and it'll pop up on there as well. So, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
You going to do a couple of tunes for us today?
Absolutely.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and just cut this out, and then we'll move everything around, get you set up, and we'll do it kind of concert style.
Roger that.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right.
We'll
Mark,
be the audience.
Mark, you got anything else?
No, check out Jesse Loving. Great Southeast Texas singer-songwriter. You won't be sorry. What a voice, I'm telling you.
I appreciate
You'll
that.
see it in just a minute.
Yeah,
I
and
appreciate
look for
that.
his bookings and go to the gigs. That's important too. You know, purchase the merch and go to the gigs. And when you're going to support one of these guys, you got to support them live.
Yeah, so I'll be,
definitely.
if there's anybody in the Livingston, Texas area, Polk County area tonight, I'll be at the Heads or Tails Crawfish there in Livingston, Texas, off 190 West.
Tonight
I'll be
being
from 6 to 9 o'clock.
April 6th.
That's it. Yeah, sounds good. All right. Well, we're going to get things set up, and we'll get back to you. And thanks a lot, man. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Here
Thank y'all
comes
for having
Jesse.
me.
All right.
Good morning, guys. My name is Jesse Loving. I'm here with Mark and Hank here at Studio 13 in Splendora, Texas. I'll be doing a couple songs for you today. And the first one I'm going to kick off here is a song written by a local singer-songwriter here from Splendora, Texas by the name of Kenny Martin. The song is called Lucky Man. I've had it out since 21 and enjoyed doing the song. Love the song being on my record. So here you go. Don't need four-leaf clover, wishing well. Don't believe in crazy dreams, fairy tales. Worked hard all my life, all I had. I've bet on love before, laid it all on the line. I'd lose everything when I roll the dice. When I took a chance on love, was a losing hand. Then I bet on your love, now I'm a lucky man. Don't see why you'd ever want a broken man like me. Seems like I'm living in a dream. Just why you chose me, girl, never understand. Look at me, I'm a lucky man. Just why you chose me, girl, never understand. Look at me, can't believe. Look at me, I'm a lucky man. Oh, baby, I'm a lucky, lucky man. So here's one of my all-time favorite songs that I started putting into shows about 3 years ago. Take you back to the 70s here, all the way to San Benito, Texas. An old boy out of there called Freddie Fender had a great song, and here's the old Southeast Texas boys version of it for you. If it brings you happiness, I wish you both the best. It's your happiness that matters most of all. If it ever breaks your heart, if the teardrops ever start, and I'll be there before the next teardrop falls. Si te quieres de night y te da felicidad, te deseo lo más bueno para los dos. Pero si nace llorar, a mí me puedes hablar y estaré contigo cuando triste estás. And I'll be there anytime you need me by your side to drive away every teardrop that you cry. Never leaves you blue. Just remember I love you, and I'll be there before the next teardrop falls. Yes, I'll be